one thing that I've noticed is, when we had these shutdowns, there were things that were labeled essential and things that were labeled not essential. And we were essentially forced in one way or another to not be around each other. And I don't think that we valued just how important it is to be around each other for our health. I saw my own grandparents, Paul. I have two grandparents, both still alive, and they're both in their mid to late 80s. And they were not around their kids and their grandkids for at least 3 months straight. And we would bring them groceries, drop it off at the door, and leave. And when I finally did see them, it was because my grandmother suffered a stroke. And we went to see them, and both of them, even my grandfather, who didn't have any health issues, he looked like he aged 10 years in a few months because he hadn't been around any people. And I feel like that's a part of just valuing the science alone. If you're not around people, you're less likely to get sick. Yes, but there's this other thing that's very important where we need to be around people. What else have you seen with what's going on?
That wasn't even true. All you've got to do is start listening to the wise doctors that really do understand nature and do understand the whole human being, such as Zach Bush, Dr. Buttar, Thomas Cowan, MD, and the list is long. I mean, the number of people out there that are telling us the facts from a much more holistic perspective that keep getting zapped off the internet left, right, and getting shut down is shocking. But when we have a big problem, like a so-called epidemic or pandemic, let's just take that out and say, okay, we've got a war against a virus. Well, when we have a country trying to attack us, we don't segregate from each other. We get together and say, what are we going to do? We've got to work on this together. Whatever we need the brightest people, and we need to work hard. The Manhattan Project. They got Albert Einstein involved. They got Richard Feynman involved. They got John Wheeler involved. They got even the German scientists involved. They got every single hand on deck to face the enemy, which at that time was Hitler. So now we have a worldwide so-called enemy, but we're not being allowed to talk to each other. We're not being allowed to network, and we're not being allowed to use the wisdom that's gotten us through every epidemic and pandemic in history, which is working together collectively and using the smartness of every aspect that we can, from energetic healing to herbal healing to scientific approaches. And lo and behold, people start finding out ways that they can get themselves over COVID. And next thing you know, they're being told that's illegal, and they've taken it all off the shelves and stuff. So you see, what's happening goes against common sense. It goes against everything we've learned. And we have no legitimate test. It's been shown over and over again. And even the inventor of the PCR test said it is not designed to diagnose a virus. Then they're using a 35 times magnification. And as the experts that I've studied have said, if you magnify a virus to the 35th degree, it's like putting your face so close to a television screen, all you see is dots, and every virus looks the same, which is why you cannot use it as a diagnostic tool. So what am I saying? I'm saying that we have a whole world full of people scared to death, being told they're positive. The test has been shown to have as high as a 90% false positive and a 60% false negative rate. So everybody's basing their views and opinions and fears on a virus that no one's ever seen and on a test that doesn't work, and calling that science. So the question that really comes to the forefront here is, where is science and where is morality? And how is it that doctors are being told to diagnose everyone and anyone they can as a COVID death, and even being paid $500 a person for doing it? And how is it that doctors are getting bonuses for each COVID shot they get? That does not sound like medicine, and that does not sound like science. That sounds like a very big skunk smell in the room. It sounds like a scoundrel.